Namaste.
Namaste. To you, brother.
Welcome.
I love you.
Welcome to us. Welcome to everyone in the space who'll be listening. Feel comfortable because we're diving in with some deep wellness, spiritual wellness, plant-powered spiritual wellness. Bomb of wisdom, I will call it. We'll drop with some bomb of wisdom from plant-powered spiritual wellness today. James is in charge of it. I'm so excited. Friday was about next level embodiment, my own model. Today we're bringing his one. We are bringing them together into how to be your own coach. The event happening the 3rd of December. Reflections. Have you seen the previous episodes? We're back from weekend. We go on every weekday, Monday to Friday at this time, for an hour, more or less. More than less. Thank you, Jamie. I'm deeply grateful to you for creating this together. And thank you for watching and listening. Are you ready to drop in?
Yeah, I'm ready to drop in with my less than 2 hours of sleep. I'm ready. Actually, I find that the less sleep I have, the more I drop in. It's all about that mental of getting over that concept, that ideology of I am tired.
Yes. Good boy. You're embracing it.
Oh yeah, there's at least like 30 minutes of footage that Artin and I have in a private conversation of him attempting me to really wrap my mind around this until he made me say it out loud over and over again. So, you know, it shows that I actively listen to you, I think. So I'm super excited, everyone. This is going to be so special and honestly very intimate, because unless you know me deeply personally or you are a client of mine, I don't usually share how truly deeply I integrate cannabis and overall plant spiritual wellness, plant-powered spiritual wellness throughout my life. And you're catching me in a vulnerable space because it is, I guess, my, super early morning, even though I don't feel like I napped, but, and this is when I first get up, that is when I start that journey, like almost immediately. I feed my cats, nature calls, and after that, the first thing that has to happen is my connection with plant spirit. And my overall spiritual wellness routine begins immediately from the moment I open my eyes, and my reality shifts to this awakened state. And it's vulnerable because I have done like a fraction of that specifically to do all of it with you, to show you and share with you, to hope this will support and answer any questions and possibilities. And in the mix of all of this, you are welcome to continue to breathe and enjoy and receive, if you choose and consent to receive the Reiki that I'm running in the space. And this goes for anybody who's watching this live or infinitely in consumption of the footage of this transmission. translation, communication. We're going to be doing a lot of things today. It's going to feel potentially like a blur. We're going on a journey. Know that you're going to capture what it is that you need to capture on this journey that we're going to be on together. So all you need to do to receive the Reiki, you can place your right hand or your energetic focus on your heart, and your left hand or your energetic focus at your lower sacral, below your navel, and say, I choose to receive Reiki for my highest good and for the highest good of all. That is all that is necessary. So, we're about to begin the integration process. That is the first step to plant-powered spiritual wellness, is the plant-powered part. The good news, although there is no bad news, so the exciting news, the beneficial news, in my perspective, is that even though you are beginning with the plant-powered part, that is still a plant spirit. So you are always coming in with the spiritual wellness. It's always happening, in my perspective. I'm not here to tell you to choose my perspective. I'm here to share my perspective and to let you know how plant medicine, specifically plant-powered spiritual wellness, saved my life. And it saves my life continuously. And if there's anything of my story that can support you in your healing and your living a balanced and healthy life, then I want to do that. I want to share that information lovingly and willingly and freely, because you are worthy of that information. You're as worthy as I am. So it's time for access. And the first way to get access is to connect. So the first thing I'm going to remind everybody is, this little disclaimer thing. I'm a legal medical cannabis patient in the state of California. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. It's here. The point is that if you are going to engage with the plant spirit with me right now, you are honoring the fact that you are 21 years old or older, legal in your location. And if you're in Canada, yes, you're 19 or older. If you are connecting with the plant spirit, you can be any age. Because connecting with the plant spirit, I'm going to go over how that can be without actually engaging with the plant spirit tangibly in that way. So it removes this, and this is actually some new development and download that has been coming into play over the last couple of days, frankly. I mean, I think it's been coming for weeks, but the language of it has really only been coming for the last couple of days. I've realized this is so important. So important. I think that actually I'm going to give a solid shout out. Oh, you know why I feel so naked? Oh my gosh. I am sorry, everyone. Hold on, this is so important. Oh wow. Whew. My Metatron's cube. I felt very naked. I went to grab something, and I always have my Metatron cube necklace when I'm not wearing it overnight, which is the only time I'm wearing it. Sitting on top of that object, I was like, oh. Shouting out.
That's energy.
Shouting out. This is the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. This is by Maggie May Wilson and Edge. It is an absolutely magnificent deck that I am in love with, and I am also deeply bonded to. Yes, also in part because I happened to inspire the last card of the deck. However, that was a major. I didn't put that out until way later, so know that this is a deck that I am truly speaking to. Shows you how to connect spirituality and cannabis wellness in a way that is so powerful. It is already best-selling, #1 on Amazon. get it absolutely anywhere, and you are going to be courting two women of color who have deeply put their hearts into this project. And I basically don't go a day without using it. Maybe I'll pull some cards if I'm feeling up to it. But what I want to talk about and why I felt called to shout this out right now is because this deck does not require you to actually touch cannabis in any form in order to connect with the plant spirit. And so, and Maggie happens to be my spiritual mother. So, in this lifetime. So I think there's some, I think that this was like an interweaving inspiration for me awakening to how I can communicate this through my language and through how it fits in with plant-powered spiritual wellness for my purpose. So with that said, I'm going to invite you to connect, integrating, healing with the plant spirit. We're going to first go over some of the different ways that I do this, because I do this on many different layers and levels. And I want to make sure that anybody who consumes this content has an ability to understand based on wherever they are in their level of understanding of cannabis and plant spirit and spirituality, that they can understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get really, really, really simple, and I'm going to ask that everyone who is a little bit further in their journey hold space and patience for this as well. And maybe consider that you may still yet find something in this for you. And eventually we will step it up some notches, and you will get your fill as well. But I want to really dive in. When I'm talking about plant powered, I'm talking about plants and fungi. Trannabis Chi, we have focused largely with cannabis. This 100% has to do both with my personal experiences as well as legal ramifications based on where I am located and the realities of the world. I would love and hope as soon as I can to start to integrate fungi into this. This does include other plants such as chamomile, lavender, other plants that you know and love and use for your own wellness every day, from everything from anxiety to headaches to nausea to energy and everything in between. I mean, honestly, I could not wait to have my double espresso before this video, because honestly, this video I would make no sense if I didn't do that. But that is certainly a part of my routine right now. And my routines shift. And so I want to talk about also how your routine can shift. We're going to talk about that a lot later. And I want you to also consider how these medicines interweave together. These spirits, they all have these different spirits, and how they can come and collaborate for your overall spiritual wellness. And so, if you do not resonate with cannabis, I respect that. When we are integrating right now, you can integrate with another plant spirit that you like. That's okay too. The same exact things that I'm talking about at large, except for sort of, talking about specific cannabinoids and things to cannabis at large, will apply. And if you, again, don't have access to cannabis right now, or you are not of age, or you want to engage with cannabis as a plant spirit, but you don't want to actually use it physically speaking, you can do that too. So there's many ways to do this, because it breaks down into hemp, non-psychoactive, non-psychoactive CBD, other cannabinoids. Backing it up, let's put the science aside, because it's too early for that right now. The first thing that I do every single day is called a tincture. A tincture, there are different types of tinctures. The different types of tinctures have a lot to do with not just the breakdown of cannabinoids and terpenes and all the things that basically make up cannabis that make it medicinal, enjoyable, beneficial for you on a body, mind, and soul, spiritual level. It goes deeper than that. There are different ways of extracting it. There are different oils or alcohol based different bases that they can be made from, and it gives a different experience. This is a CBD CBG tincture, which is non-psychoactive, which means that it does not give you a high euphoric feeling, and it helps with anxiety, it helps with pain, it can help with, for me, these are all these things that does for me and can for you. Again, we had that disclaimer, right? So I don't need to, I'm not backtracking. So it helps with anxiety, with nausea, with pain, with my gastrointestinal issues, with headaches, with, I mean, anything really, with mood. There's nothing, and it's my first form of contact with the plant spirit. And so it has a dropper. Shout out to Mike of Mike Medicinal, Mike Robinson, absolute genius, legend, hero in my opinion in the space. This is magical. Calls it the golden oil. It's a 1-to-1, which means that it's an equal ratio of these two cannabinoids. That is what I mentioned. They are called cannabinoids, CBD and CBD. And so this is what this looks like. And I personally had worked up to a dropper. Everyone has different doses that work well for them. So that may not be the thing for you. Now, I honestly hated tinctures for a really long time until this one. Actually, that's not entirely true. I gotta give a shout out to Aunt Zelda's and the oil plant, specifically Mara Gordon, because actually Mara Gordon is the first person who got me to enjoy tinctures, because the 30-to-1 tincture of Aunt Zelda's was the first product on the market to really break through my health issues. Which, for those who do not know, I have autoimmune and chronic illnesses, upwards of 11 diagnoses. Those are not particularly important, even though I'll probably throw them out for reference, because I know that many of you are going through these types of things, and you want to know that what I'm talking about could be relevant to what you're going through. So I get it. Happy to give a list, but I don't want to go there right now, because many of us have just woken up and need plant spirit pronto, and I want to make sure that you get the info that you need to get. I already had this because, again, first point of contact when I wake up after my first children is a tincture. And tincture, what I've discovered, the love of the tincture has a lot to do with, does the tincture work? Does the tincture fit your desire of how you want to use cannabis? In other words, there's so many different methods now of how to consume cannabis. This is a very healthy way to consume cannabis. There are other healthy ways, and there are ways that are considered less healthy, and so by some. And so perhaps that's why you're leaning into a tincture. For me, like, yeah, that's breakthrough for someone.
A breakthrough for me as well, brother. I'm having a lot of breakthroughs as you really, guys. Sorry for interrupting, Jamie, but
go.
I'm cold to kind of jump in here, because yes, people, crowds, unlimited humans. You've no idea how deep he's dropping in to this right now, and he's been withholding all these valuable informations from me for this long, but it's finally out there, indeed, and I'm one of the people. I'm speaking. Look, I'll be short, but we're bringing together next level embodiment and plant power spiritual wellness into how to be your own coach. And while I come more on these next level embodiment, so if you want, it's kind of a more of a kind of high performance whatsoever. He's coming from a wellness perspective and bringing them together. Myself using cannabis, smoking cannabis, I can say that the only resistance to cannabis, really, only two really, but when you learn how to use it, one of the two of these like disappears. Me smoking, I resist to the smoking because I feel it. It's smoking. It's yeah. I mean, the tincture. It's extremely healthy. I've imagining myself with a cup, with a cup of delicious tea. And apart the information of any plant would apply to it, I was like, boom, that was mind blowing already. It applies to any plant, and I was like, of course it does. And and tincture, like getting the healthy use of cannabis. If you do not want to smoke because you feel it's not healthy whatsoever, and you're not tapping into cannabis because of that, pay particular attention to what Jamie is sharing. Because I think I'll shift now that I open my eyes to this. Like I think I'll shift, Jamie. Have my teas, have my infusions with cannabis spirit. Hmm.
So excited for you. I just want to answer because shout out to my dear friend Laura Hamilton, who is a total badass. And absolutely, if you are in Canada, especially, please follow her, because if you want to talk about sex, sexuality, cannabis, and education, and women empowerment, and all bodies, and just fun in general, Laura is absolutely someone to follow. And she asked a really great question about the tincture, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to go into the deepest of detail because of two reasons. Number one, I had a very high demand of what I asked for from Mike, because basically what happened was I had to stop using the Aunt Zelda tincture because I couldn't afford it. And Mike is in a different situation whereby he was able to continue a compassionate care, which Mara Gordon did for so long, and what she's done is also so incredibly important and valuable. But it was not something I could afford anymore. So I had to figure out and do a lot of digging and talking to Mara and a lot of different things. Leaf411.org, shout out to them. Registered cannabis nurses you can anonymously call for free and get tips and advice. It changed the game for me. And between all of them and Mike, we were able to figure out this magical tincture ratio and all that I needed, and changed the game for my fibromyalgia, my gastroparesis, for my persistent postural perceptual dizziness, for my headaches and migraines, for my anxiety, for just everything that I'm honestly going through, my connective tissue disease, everything. So it does. So the question was, does this have terpenes in it or only cannabinoids? And what I had said was that I needed mostly myrcene, that I needed carophyllene, that I needed alpha-pinene, and I believe I said like a little bit of humulene, and I was like, I almost don't care what else you do after that, but that's really what I need. And to make that into simple terms, for example, Martin is sitting in front of, those are real, right? That's a real lemon tree. Cool. Just curious. I mean, it didn't really matter. Just curious. If I was thinking how real that looked, I was about to be like, dude, do you have like an incredible green screen? No. So lemons, fruits, vegetables, leafies, have terpenes. And terpenes are what bring the smell. Then flavonoids bring the taste, and also terpenes can impact the taste. And both have a medicinal impact. And when they come together with the cannabinoids, it is called the entourage effect. What does this mean? The entourage effect means that all of these magical things that are within cannabinoids and all these magical foods that we eat, right? They come together and they create, cannabis especially, this incredible effect where each of these things together, they superpower each other. Let me give you an example of how this is possibly not fun for you. Back in college, something that I would do is I would bring cannabis together with the spirit of alcohol in a way that was not conscious and intentional. This would create nausea, spins, mood swings, not things that I want. Doesn't it sound like exactly actually the opposite of everything that I'm talking about with cannabis, right? Like, in fact, like waking up feeling horrible with a hangover, like none of that. This is none of that. This, they come together and they create magic. They create healing. It's incredible. And part of why Laura's asking this question, because why this question, right, is because not every cannabis product has every terpene, every cannabinoid, every flavonoid, because there's a lot of products getting customized now to specific needs, like mine. And then there are products that are full spectrum. Full spectrum means that it's got everything, that there's no removal of that plant. Well, we're going to have to break that down deeper like another time. Also, this is going to be a long show. Strap in. Grab some munchies. So, the lemons have a terpene that is in a lot of cannabis cultivars called limonene. Limonene is really great for energy, for creativity, for stimulation, for many things. For antibacterial, I believe. And it goes well with a lot of other terpenes. And it gives a citrus aroma of lemons. And you get the flavor. It's lovely. Those are at large found in cultivars, or what you may know as strains, that you may be more familiar with, are referred to as sativas. Today is potentially the day that we are going to have to just give some news rather bluntly, which is that sativa and hybrid and indica are these marketing terms that are ultimately not telling you the full truth of what is actually in these products and how they're going to make you feel, because we all have what is called an endocannabinoid system. So do our animals. Insects do not, but many of our animals do. This is a system that helps all of our other important systems to function at large. And this system is connected to receptors in our brain, CB1, CB2, and many other areas of our body. And this all connects together to give us the experience. And every single one of us has a different one. To the fact that some of us need a lot of different aspects of cannabis, and some of us can't have cannabis. That second part is much, much, much rarer. One day, maybe we'll bring on a friend to talk about that. So that's really important. Moving on.
Can I ask a super quick question about CB1, CB2? Is that why they call CBD CBD? Has the D like just a D for like distress or this something, and they call it CBD? I'm testing you here.
I was not of course, the scientist who decided to discover a name. THC was the first cannabis. But what I would say is that it would make sense. But CBD THC, these are all shorthands. CBG, these are shorthands for incredibly long words that are honestly constantly challenging for me to say. And because we
No
things,
worries.
because
No
we
worries,
want to
not need.
keep things very simple today,
Yeah.
like CBD is cannabidiol. Cannabidiol. Oh god, that one is a tough one. That second time I nailed it. And so as you can see, these are very long words, and that is why we call them things that are very simple. Because what matters,
CBD, HAC.
well, here's the reality, right? As a human being, we care about results. We want to understand. And so, yes, there's deep importance to the understanding for a lot of people to these long terms and appreciation. At the same time, CBD is just fine. What matters is that we understand what it does, how to use it for ourselves, and how this all matters. So we've gone on quite a couple of rants, but these were all very important. But wrapping up this marketing situation, and this is not like a smash, like I'm in the cannabis industry. I have love for the cannabis industry. My heart shattered into millions of pieces when this was brought to my attention. And but it's important that you understand what the brilliant Kristen Yoder shared with me and continues to share with many, is that we all have a different endocannabinoid system. We all have different needs. These terms are used in a broad sense in the most in essentially probably the best way that they thought they could in order to kind of get the point across. And there are other ways that are being discovered and starting to be used, like talking about what terpenes are in there and what percentage and ratios of cannabinoids are in there, and the potency, all of these together, because it's not just about the potency. There's a huge focus on the potency. I love potency. I love talking about potency because I'm actually, my name is Jamie, and I am a low potency consumer. And that is a very rare thing where I live, in Los Angeles, California. But I'm a low. I don't require a high potency of THC. I require a lot more CBD. And so ultimately, there's an important discovery that has to happen. This is all stuff that we can dive into at our epic event on December 3rd. And how to be your own coach. But right now, we've just got to dive in to the rest. We're going to talk. Oh, they're on my lap. The next thing that I often do is I come into edibles. See, tinctures, they last a long time. For most people, they last in your system for a long time. So that's something good to take if you can't have it often. And it's discreet, right? People take vitamin tinctures all the time. You would never question something like this. Edibles. There's so many different types of edibles. These are Fruit Slabs. Fruit Slabs, shout out to Fruit Slabs, are a sponsor of mine, and I love collaborating with them and shouting them out because I genuinely love their products. This is a gluten-free, kosher certified, organic, no preservatives, no sugar added fruit leather that is organic, has high quality organic fruit, mostly mango base, except for the grape base. Whoops, other one. Where are you? The grape base for the grape ape, which is for sleep. These come in different flavors. They come in THC, CBD, and actually, if you want, you can get 10% off with the code Trannabis at their CBD site at fruitslabscbd.com, or you can go to fruitslabs.com if you are in Los Angeles and a couple of other states that are very lucky to start to carry Fruit Slabs. I'm obsessed with them. I'm going to show you what they look like. My favorite flavor is Mango Maui Wowie. And after this long chat of answering questions and going through and diving, we're going to actually integrate this right now. So it was all worth it though, because you had all those breakthroughs. Don't even
It's all worth it.
So, yes, we will, brother. I see you. Sorry, going into our private chat. So, with whatever aspect of cannabis you have with you, I was hoping I would go through all of them and then we would actually go into that spot, but that's not how that went. It's okay. We're in flow. So, I take that into my hands. Laura, I want you to try Fruit Slabs. Yes, we are always tackling the nonsense of indica sativa and all of that. Oh, I love you. You deserve all of the attention, as does Kristen Yoder. Please go follow her. Absolute veteran, legend in the space, and educator. And she is working on an incredible initiative right now called Bud for Blood. And specifically, it is about the fact that you, in the United States at least, you can actually donate blood even if you consume cannabis. And so that is a very important thing to understand that so many people didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, just go follow her, learn more, do what you can. We'll talk about it another time. I love her so much. Fruit Slabs. So we're going to integrate our plant spirit. I take it into my hands. Personally, for me, I bring it into a prayer stance. Now, if you do not have cannabis, or you are going to use another plant spirit, or you are going to simply call upon the plant spirit, you can do this however. I just like to bring it into my prayer stance. This is just what feels organic and natural, and this is what the plant spirit's connected to me, and how it's connected to me, and how it's communicated to me to do this. Bringing it to the heart space. I like to close my eyes, breathing slowly and deeply. I take 3 slow, deep breaths, and as I take my 3 slow, deep breaths, I focus on 1, 2, maybe 3 intentions that I wish to set to be helped, supported with the plant spirit. And usually I do not share this out loud unless I am doing a session with you or a class with everyone, or I'm offering something for the collective. However, I'm going to share my intention with you because I want you to have an example, several examples really, of what intentions can look like. So the intentions that I am asking the plant spirit to support me in today and in this moment is in unconditional love, in financial abundance, and releasing a lack mindset, loving through a lack mindset. And I'm going to take my breaths. Let's take our breaths. I'm asking in my own way. That I'm not sharing. That's for you. You choose your way, your words of how to ask for that support. And I ask specifically for support in my body, mind, and soul, and subtle bodies. And the next part is very important, my friends. I have a deep acknowledgement with the plant spirit in many, many different ways. We'll talk more about that on December 3rd at How to Be Your Own Coach in New York City and virtually globally over Zoom. Right now, find that within yourself and what that means for you. And then the next part is almost the most important part outside of actually completing the connection with the engagement or the consent, or rather, and the consent. And that is sending deep gratitude to the plant spirit for supporting you and healing you in your body, mind, soul, subtle bodies. And I love to thank the plant spirit for all the ways that it helps me in every moment, each and every time, in the ways that it knows I need. And I just trust. I trust that the plant spirit is going to give me what I need. And part of why I have all the different types of plant spirits is because these different aspects give me different aspects that I need. Avoided donating for years. Yeah, good point, Laura. So these are what fruit slabs look like. At least these are what the mango Maui Wowie look like. They look slightly different than the other ones because they have coconut. So if you are allergic to coconut, these are not for you. Most of them don't have coconut, so do not worry. And these are THC. And I am about to complete my connection. Each of these beautiful squares have 10 milligrams of THC. This is a microdose amount, and I'm going to have 20 milligrams, which is my amount. Start low, go slow. It's a mantra I adapt and embody and live by. It is not one that I started. And honestly, I have desperately wanted to figure out who created this mantra so brilliantly so that I can love on them and give them the credit that they so deserve for channeling this back into the collective. If you happen to know for sure, if you are somehow magically this person and you are watching this divinely, thank you. I love you. And I appreciate you for helping to save my life and so many others. Because understanding this and going through that process and honoring that is a foundation to plant-powered spiritual wellness and to cannabis consumption in a safe and powerful and empowering and healing way. Thank you. Now somehow you've had the patience, which you didn't need to have some plant spirit. Now is the moment where we are going to do this. And this has a mango base. It is so freaking good. I just can't even tell you. If you are a millennial or older, or perhaps have come across fruit roll-ups and fruit by the foot, then you know the unhealthy version from my perspective of this, because it's filled with tons of sugar and preservatives and all sorts of things. You may also be familiar with fruit leather in a natural form, such as Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. Love Trader Joe's. Love the, it's not their company that makes those, but they carry them. And if you go to Trader Joe's, there's a solid chance you know what I'm talking about, because I feel like they've been carrying those forever. At least since I was really young, like really, really, really little, right? And I'm like 32. That's a significant amount of So these are the cannabis version, and they're magical, and the team is magical. It is partially minority owned, women of color owned. Shout out to the team. Maggie Mae Wilson is the incredible CMO. Brandon Dorsky is the incredible CEO. Kona, my heart beats. This gentleman, this being, the soul, the creator, the founder. Fruits Labs has really shaken and stirred my universe. And if you know that, you have been following me and the Trannabis Kitchen, my cooking show, utilized to end the stigma of cannabis and the fear of cooking in the kitchen by intuitively cooking with cannabis through a spiritual lens. And they have sponsored almost every show. And I have cooked with them in a million ways. There's essentially nothing you can't do with them. The next thing that happens is I have some flour. However you feel about smoking, I respect. Smoking is not healthy for a human vessel. Smoking cannabis is not the same as smoking cigarettes. I am not going to tell you that cannabis smoking is the healthiest method of consumption because I would be lying to you from my educated beliefs, knowing, experience, knowledge. I will say that I love smoking cannabis. That smoking cannabis is a beautiful, sacred, and powerful ritual, such as smoking tobacco leaf is to indigenous beings who choose to do that, and other cultures, and other beings in general. Cannabis spirit smoking for me is, like I said, different than other methods. It's just like a total different experience for many reasons, right? On the medicinal level, lasts a really long time, and takes probably 30 minutes to an hour on average. Fruit Slabs are a unique edible, not a gummy. These can kick in within like 20 minutes to 30 minutes. I have gastroparesis, which means that my digestion is slow. And for me personally, mine is 4.5 to 5.5 hours slower than the average person who does not have gastroparesis. I'll give you a second to wrap your mind around that. Second over. So fruit slabs are something that lasts for a very long time, as do edibles usually in general. On average, they will say that they can last for 4 to 6 hours, sometimes 8 hours. I will tell you, from my lived experience, that they can last from 2 to 4, I would say 14 hours. Now, is that average number that I gave you appropriate for the average consumer? Why, yes, I may say that would be true. And also, I have experienced some very wild things, and I wish for you to again start low and go slow, and be aware that not all edibles are the same, and not all digestions are the same, and not all endocannabinoid systems are the same. And so everything will be different for you, and it's important to start low and go slow so you can figure out what that looks like for you. As someone who has experienced 10 out of 10 pain in my life, which thankfully is not what my journey is now. But I have, and I did, for a number of years that I'm not going to blast out right now. It's all over the internet. You can find it. I don't want to bring down the house right now. It's sad. 10 out of 10 pain 24/7. Flower is instantaneous, pretty much. It is within conventionally 30 to 60 seconds. It can be faster for some. It could be a little bit slower for some. Also depends on the cultivar. There are many ways that you can consume it. Actually, usually I would be consuming it in a way that I perceive to be a healthier way for me, because I actually have asthma, and my doctor is hopefully never going to see this because she'd be yelling at me. But I felt called to have a bowl because a bowl is very common and very accessible, and I want to show something that's accessible and very common. But you can use bongs, you can use joints, blunts, wraps, pipes, chillums. Well, I suppose a chillum is a type of pipe. There's a lot of different pipes. The point is that this happens fast, and this does not last as long. So I personally heal with flower every about 2 to 3 hours. An equivalent experience is with a vape pen, which I actually don't have any carts right now to show you. Yeah, I don't have a cart to show you right now. However, a vape cart, a vaporizer cart, a distillate, an oil that's going to be there for you to vaporize, which means it is not being hit with a flame the way that I'm about to right now. It is being heated with warmth conducted from electricity and things that are far scientifically beyond my awareness and knowledge. I'm not going there right now. And so if you are someone who's in a lot of pain, or you are having a panic attack, or you are needing to engage with the plant spirit now, in this moment, like if you need success right this second, and if you need it to not last a long time, great option if this is something that resonates with you. And it is something that deeply resonates with me, and I'm gonna have some now. Oops. I am smoking. Is this upside down still? Excuse me.
Froze for a second for me.
Yes. The healthier thing that I would be doing, actually, you know what? We're gonna pause. Well, no, I'll come back to this in a second. Why I'm coughing right now is because I'm not using this, and I will talk about this. Cloud, female-owned company. I believe also, in general, in other ways, minority-owned business, love supporting those who are not usually supported and deserve it. They deserve it. Their product is amazing. I consistently smoke their flower. I vaporize their flower. It is truly magical. And this is apple gelato. It smells like apples and like a little sour, like kind of like a little bit of a sour apple. It smells extraordinary. Honestly, it smells great and it feels wonderful. It is definitely something that I would say is a more of a daytime use. I learned that because boy, did it not help me sleep. And again, you might have a totally different reaction. This is marketed as a hybrid, aka something that can be used at large, daytime, anytime. You may have a very different reaction. This kept me up. That's my experience. That's my truth. This is a mouthpiece. Hold on. these ones.
Mm.
Mouthpiece comes from a company, Moose Labs. Shout out to Moose Labs. Love, love, love. Also, I mean, I don't know for certain, but I just get a vibe that they support the community and that they get it. I did buy this after all. So, not that there's not rainbow washing out there, but I really don't get that vibe, and I refuse to have you associate that with this company because I love this company, and I have such good vibes from this company, and I consistently have been using this company for many, many, many months, and it has helped me to go from 2 inhalers to 1 inhaler, and I've changed to a totally different inhaler, and this inhaler is on a lower dose, and so it is at large healthier for me, and my asthma is better than ever. And so these are, you can go to mooselabs.com, go mouthpiece, or you can also, eventually you'll be able to see, especially on YouTube in the comments, my discount code for them. And this has pieces. These are for bongs and sometimes bowls. These are for joints, for blunts, for vaporizers, vape pens. I hear you, brother. And seeing the comments. And so they come with screens. This is dirty. That's why. Don't panic. This is not what this looks like. This is supposed to look like this. This is how you know that they work. This is done. These are, oh god, these are great examples. Let me show you what they look like when they're clean. So these allow you, oh, I forgot that I have this headset. I can talk to you while I'm walking. I love this. Freedom.
Freedom, real.
You using this, your flower is going to taste better. You're going to, I like never cough pretty much. It, as I said personally, massively helps my asthma. My doctors are stoked, and I was like, "Let's talk about this." I'm stoked too. This is what they look like for the bongs when they're clean. This is when they're dirty. This is not even like, I can use this a little bit longer. For when they're done, they look like that. These are this is what they look like when you first get them. What do you need to understand right now, my friends? Wrong one. This is still going in your lungs. And this is not against cannabis, smoking. This is a way for you to consciously smoke cannabis in a healthier way. And this is a product that I would imagine you can access most parts of the globe because there's no cannabis in it. And so I highly recommend that you do this if you resonate and wish to be well. I want you to be well, and I want you to enjoy your product. I want you to enjoy your experience. That's part of plant-powered spiritual wellness, is enjoyment. How to be your own coach in plant-powered spiritual wellness is to have awareness, education, is to have all this access so that you can make the choices that are best for you. This is the choice that's best for me because personally, no judgment, I don't want this in me. My lungs certainly said, we don't want this. They're pretty happy because I'm now down to 1 inhaler on a lower dose than I've ever been on. And I'm still able to smoke cannabis. And my lungs are fine. I have long COVID, and when I got COVID, my lungs somehow were fine. I know. Discussion for another day. So, this is part of my routine because it's part of my wellness. It's part of my healing. It's part of my health.
Mm-hmm.
That clean one. You know what? I'm putting the clean ones in here because now that I've also now it's like a mental thing. You know, like now that I've seen it, I like absolutely can't tolerate the possibility of me forgetting that it's dirty.
Of course.
So
Mm.
you just slip it on in there, and they have a subscription. These are so freaking affordable, and these are medical grade silicone, and these are recyclable. These are made from corn husk. These are amazing. They're natural. They're biodegradable. It's awesome. I feel so great using them because they're great for me and they're great for the environment. That's my public service announcement on all of these. Now,
I love it.
on September 3rd, we have so much that we are going to cover. So much about how I've used plant-powered spiritual wellness. I'm going to share a little bit about my story so that you can have a deeper understanding and so that you can connect with your resonance the way that with oracle cards and with my channelings that day, you're going to take what resonates and you're going to leave the rest. And guess what? I'm still going to love you all the same. So I'm going to be happy for you because you're going to get exactly what you need. And so that's what I feel so confident that you are going to receive that day. We are going to do some beautiful, deep healing and loving that day. This mini retreat, how to be your own coach, it is not for someone who is not ready for transformation. It is not for someone who is not ready to honor themselves and to heal. It is not for someone who is not going to put the effort in. I don't personally use the phrase do the work. I know that many of you currently resonate with this programming. I respect and honor and acknowledge that. I did too. And when I started to shift, thanks to Shaman Durek, shout out to Shaman Durek, when I learned, truly blew my mind. When he explained how work, the mindset, the meaning, the creation, the power that we've given to that word at large in humanity, we've associated it with hard, with difficult, with challenge, with exhaustion, with things we don't feel like doing, with things we don't love. And instead, using love, it's not a bypass that it's challenging. You can love something and it can be challenging. Doesn't it feel a little bit easier to like overcome something that's challenging when you love it? When you're loving into it, when you're leaning into the love, when you understand that you are giving love into this because it is giving love to you, that there's something for you there. Tap into that.
It does.
Tap into that. We are going to do major integration. We're going to do that whole process on a next level. Next embodiment level, actually, with Artin. And we are going
together.
Bring them together. It's going to be magic. We are going to do a channeled guided meditation. We are going to do a guided channeled transmission. We are going to have a breakdown of the 10 beliefs, the 10 beliefs of how to be your own coach through plant-powered spiritual wellness, which was a collaboration between many guides and my lived experience. And we're going to bring this deliciousness to you and fill your toolbox to the degree that you're going to become the toolbox. You're going to be the coach. You are your own coach. You are your number one. And we're going to teach you how. We're going to teach you how with Artin bringing the next level embodiment method. And I'm not going to say anything, but I got to tell you, like, Arden shared some really exciting news with me a couple of days ago about that. That just like things are going to be like even next level embodiment. He didn't even know he was ready for that. We are so ready. We are going to be so ready. We've been getting ready. I'm going to tell you something.
For you.
Almost like, yeah. We've been getting ready for you, but we've been also getting ready first for us because we are being our own coaches. Through this, we are learning to be our own coaches. We are embodying that. And we have had many breakdowns and breakthroughs. I will say that since we started this, of bringing this, downloading this in for all of you. So excited to just keep bringing it in and bringing that next level embodiment method with Artin, and I'm bringing you the plant-powered spiritual wellness. We're gonna build bridges. We're going to connect to our guides. We're going to connect to source. We're going to connect to the one. We're going to connect to ourselves on a body, mind, and soul and subtle body level. In New York City, baby. In person and globally through Zoom. I say this with unconditional love. With unconditional love. I want each and every one of you to feel wonderful. To feel unconditional love. To feel unconditional self-love. To feel unconditional love within the we. Reflected. Because what you feel is what you create. And what you create is reflected and created everywhere around you. The reality that you're living right now. Guess what, my friends? You're creating it. And we're going to bring down to earth a lot of accountability on the very special day. And probably another call. Wait, did we talk about accountability yet? I mean, we've talked about accountability. You talked about accountability, Artin, but but we haven't done, we did focus and flow, then embodiment.
We didn't speak to accountability directly.
Okay. Yeah, we're probably
accountability and responsibility and all of that. We'll do that.
Shh. This is, on my day, we are not using the R word, Artin. We will heal with the R word. We will heal with the R word another day. I don't want to heal with the R word right now. I've had 2 hours of sleep.
Well.
Another day.
You'll all find out what the R word is if you already caught it. If you already caught it, that is great. Otherwise, I used an R word that it goes with accountability. Um,
Embody.
I will not use it. No worries. I'm not using it
The
anymore.
A word is the word of choice.
And
And right now, the accountability.
so,
Arjun and
my
I are going
dearest,
through the whole thing about this, as you can tell. We're gonna close out.
you've been experiencing Jamie in the deepest sharing he had ever had, apparently, about his actual plant powered spiritual wellness routines, programs, um, lifestyle, and I personally have many breakthroughs. I believe you had to like many wow insights on how to integrate plant spirit plants any plant spirit. That was already like something crazy. Of course you can do it with thymus or whatever other plants, like just there's spirit in there. And um we are I am personally we are together inviting you to really consider having a look into this retreat, mini retreat, to gather your energy, to really see where you're going, how you're closing the ear. And this is a hint to a, like I'm blinking the eye, a hint to something that you'll soon find out being even an extra to everything that we spoke to and about the How to Be Your Own Coach mini retreat in New York City on the 3rd of December or on Zoom globally. Um, we really hold a big, deep, empowering vision for the event and for you participating in it. Um, I will leave you myself with a question. You've been trying, you've been using substances of any kind for your whole life. There is caffeine, whether it's anything that is like just boosting you or making you relax, whatever. THC, CBD, cannabis, plant spirit is another one that you can use in a very ritualistic way. Create a routine about. Boost your energy levels. Shift your mindset more easily with. Live a better life? Nah, look at that. Yeah, drop it in, drop it in, drop your drops. Come. We're waiting for you in New York on the 3rd of December. And we're waiting for you on Zoom on the 3rd of December. The first 6 in person humans who actually sign up are getting a discount. We are building it massively upon referral because we do strongly believe that together is 3,300% better than alone. And you can bring your friends, family, colleagues, collaborators, boss, or employees to it and actually integrate together, getting to that next level together, embodying and reflecting one another while you embody more, hold more of life, and keep each other accountable with the plant spirit, the new habits you're gonna find out it's gonna be useful for you. But you need to sign up, you need to put your skin in the game for that. And skin in the game means be there, be in New York. Skin in the game means be there, be on Zoom. This is what I wanted to leave you with. Just sign up. There's a link. There's something in the comments, in the description, in the text, whatever it is. Just join us and get 2 free sessions by being among the first ones actually joining the event. It's not in a long time from now. You can make it happen if you truly care about your life. Embody your own coach and facilitate that through spiritual wellness. It's your chance
A balance
for ending this year. For a balanced and healthy life. Yes. Peace out from Ayrton.
Love you.
I loved being with you.
Namaste, everyone. Have a magical day, night, afternoon. See you tomorrow. We'll tell you tomorrow what we're going to talk about because we haven't decided yet. I just realized. So we're going to decide probably when we hang up right now. Love you all. Namaste.